Welcome to the Tech Story Podcast, where storytellers kibitz about technology that makes us go, what's that about? Now introducing your host, Doug Thompson.
Hey, and welcome to the Tech Story Podcast. This is episode 9, and I call this the Smart Toilet. Oh, good. Now we're talking about toilets. Anyway, it was an article I'd written about CES, the Consumer Electronics Show that happens in Las Vegas every January. Someplace that I've been several times on that. And, I always like seeing everyone's list, about the coolest gadgets. And if you've never been to CES, it's like Best Buy and Sharper Image sort of exploded all across the Las Vegas Strip. Yeah, I know the latter is a shadow of itself, but go with me here. The electrical consumption alone, the sound, the radio waves, and the ultimate nerdery during that week would power a small country for several months. You can't get a hotel room unless you reserve it 2 years in advance. A reservation at a good, trendy restaurant, forget about it. 47.385048% of the products that are shown here are concepts, and they never actually see the light of day. If they do reach the market, it's barely resembling what they were at CES. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would anyone in their right mind go there? Well, because it's like Christmas for the child and all of us nerds. Well, not all of us. I hate crowds. But I am thankful for those brave souls that go and share their best of CES list. I get to go check out cool stuff without spending hours in the corner in the fetal position because I get no personal space. Out of gratitude for their suffering, I have picked out a few of the things that made me go, list. Words are interesting things. Words can be trendy. Take, for example, smart. We have smart TVs, smartphones, smart appliances, and now smart toilets. I, for one, know how important a good toilet is for the house. Don't believe me? Have one go out of order when the family is visiting for the holidays. See how fast the poop hits the proverbial fan then. At CES 2020, Good Housekeeping had a smart toilet by BioBidet. It had heated seats, a nightlight, and a lid that opened automatically, all for the measly price of about $2,500. While I do value my seat time and really enjoy a heated seat, my wife would not let me spend that type of money on this type of luxury. However, for her, $2,500 for a rug is just fine. This got me to thinking, just how absurd can we go? I did a search for AI in toilets and came up with several hits. The most recent one was an $8,000 lovely throne by Kohler. This came with Amazon Alexa, along with a bidet, heated seat, color-changing lights, a dozen other whistles and bells. I guess that Alexa qualified it as artificially intelligent because none of the other features that really fit that definition of AI for me. In fact, I experienced those basic functionalities of cleaning my bottom with water sitting on a heated seat and a fan to blow off my butt back in the 90s when I worked for Panasonic. Well, not particularly intelligent by today's standards, it did have a bidet and amazingly hit the target. I often wondered, while I'm sitting on the toilet, of course, who was the test pilot for that? Too far forward, and you get a facial from the bidet. Too far backwards, and your shirt was wet. Not to mention, how much wind speed does it take to dry the bottom without blowing you off the toilet? A little power surge and you're in the two stalls next to you. And who was the judge of a heated seat being not too hot and not too cold, but just right? Goldilocks? My search continued for a smarter toilet until I finally stumbled across the Toto Intelligence 2 toilet, which means they must have been a 1. Now, this one uses some AI. This one can analyze urine, tell you that you need to lose weight, and check blood pressure. I think my blood pressure would go up sitting on that toilet. It uploads this into your PC so that hackers down the street can geek out on your BMs. Good week for fiber there, Doug. Good, but it's still not my ultimate vision of one that knows when I've eaten Mexican food, can adjust the water volume of the flush, turn on the exhaust fan, and lower the temperature of the seat by 14 degrees. That's Fahrenheit, not Celsius. Now, there's this huge challenge here. There isn't an AI model for this. And when there is, the amount of training data that it would take to be reliable would be a pain in the butt, both figuratively and literally. Just think of the facial recognition challenges we have today and multiply that by a gazillion, because in the dark, everyone's backside looks the same. If I'm still around for the 2050 version of CES, there may well be an AI-powered toilet like I mentioned above. In the meantime, I'll just be happy if all my smart appliances play well together. At this point, I wish I could simply get them to work the way I think they should work, instead of being designed by some propeller head back in a laboratory somewhere, designing things the way they think we need to use them. In the end, this is the key to AI success. Design something useful to help me the way I want to be helped, not the way some data nerd back somewhere in a closet thinks I should. That's the Tech Story episode today. Thanks for listening. Hey, and if you like the podcast, please go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you got this podcast from, and give me a rating. It helps raise the visibility for everybody that can see that and help and learn more and be entertained a little bit, because at the end of the day, these tech stories are supposed to be educational and, fun. If it's not fun, why do it? Anyway, thanks for listening to the Tech Story Podcast. We'll be back soon. Bye.